Hello, my 3D printer peeps. I'm sitting here with a really cool print from the TV show Squid Game. This is a extra large version of the Dagger scene in season 3. This is the Dagger scene in season 3. This year, I am treating my neighborhood to an extra large oversized version of Squid Game for Halloween. I am also going to take them on the road with me to trade shows. For trade shows, things need to be big. Go big or go home. This is the standard size for the prop. This is the scale I'll be making it for the Halloween and trade show tour. Here I am in Bamboo Studio. I'm working with the X1C, and I'm going to set the scale of this entire project based on this part and the X1C's build volume. Right now, it is set at 240%. Basically, I took this model, imported it at 100%, grabbed it, and scaled until I started seeing that black. That black means I've gone beyond the maximum print volume height for the X1C. Scroll back down until it's all pink, and then give it a few extra millimeters. And it looks like we've got around 240% comfortably. I'll go ahead and set the model to 240%. Now I can print this within the X1C. I've got her set to 3 walls and 10% gyroid. With such a thin part, I'm more concerned about walls than infill. I want these walls to have good strength. Now that our scale is set, let's see what we can do about this giant blade. I'm going to need a really big machine. Here I am on the Elegoo Orange Storm Giga. It's the only machine that can handle this blade at 240%. Even the Creality Ender 5 Max comes up a little short. So here we have 100% size, and here we have 240% size. This is a really tough print, but the Giga has no moving bed, only a moving hot end. Therefore, the model will be still during the print process, and we should be okay. I have the speed set really low. I've got 3 walls and 15% infill. I'm also doing an enormous 0.5 millimeter layer height on a giant 1 millimeter nozzle. That should get this project in and out with as little chance of failure as possible. Here is our print job. These little lines are there for stability. You can see the infill and the walls are pretty robust. We should have plenty of strength here. Popping over to Creality Print 6, I'm going to use my K2 Pro and or K2 Plus to fit some of these other parts. This one here in particular is pretty big. You want a decent sized machine. It's also somewhat tough because of these overhangs. Luckily, these overhangs aren't all the way through. We can put supports here and just pick them out with a needle nose or a weeder or something similar after. 2 walls and any reasonable infill should be okay for this. If you want to go strong, you can go 3. I like to hit that detect thin walls just to be safe. Of course, we are using tree supports for this. There you have it. It's somewhat ugly, but all the important parts are covered, and we can pick these out nice and easily afterward. Be sure to use a filament that isn't overly hard to be sure that these supports come off easily. The rest of the parts are easy peasy. You can throw them at any machine you've got. I'm going to throw the jewels on my Prusa with Prusament Galaxy Purple. It's a sparkly purple and it's absolutely beautiful. Let's go ahead and put it together. To make this giant prop, I took the 3D model for this knife and scaled it up 240%. How did I come up with that number? I maxed out the X1C's print height and then took that percentage, 240, and applied it to all the rest of the parts. While it turned out to be a little smaller than I had originally planned, I went with that size, and it turns out it's actually quite big, and I think we're going to be happy. Even the Ender 5 Max was not tall enough to print this blade. It was about 1 millimeter too tall. So I went ahead and moved it to the Elegoo Giga Storm, which did an absolutely fabulous job. This, believe it or not, is a 1mm nozzle and a 0.4 layer height. It is fantastic. It is printed standing up. Here is the blue part. This is done on Creality's K2 Pro, as are the rest of these blue parts, all done on the Creality K2 Pro, and they came out fabulous. The remaining pink done on the X1C, and the jewels done on a P1P with Filament Galaxy Green. Absolutely beautiful filament. You might be wondering, what is this off to the side? This is the kanji set. It's the dice game that they played, scaled up like 800%. I put plastic beads in these things, the kind of beads a crafter would use to stuff an animal or to make something weigh a little bit more. Each one of these weighs 1 pound, feels really great in the hand, and they were done on K2 Plus, K2 Pro, P1S, and X1C, all teaming together to get this done. A quick look at some of the tools I use. Only 2 glues ever touch my printers. One of them is Landu Adhesion Spray. This is a fantastic lightweight spray. I found it works really great on my smooth PEI beds and even my textured beds. I spray it on the bed, then I wipe it with a Scots Blue shop cloth. This gives me a clean bed and a light coat of glue. The other one is Bamboo Lab Green Liquid Adhesive, my absolute favorite go-to adhesive for anything. It's worth noting, my friends at BQ have their own version. It's blue, it looks exactly the same. I haven't put it to the test yet, but I have a suspicion it works well, and it's readily available on BQ's website and Amazon. I'll be gluing these together with one of 3 things. My go-to glues are E6000 and SCI Grip 16, unless it's absolutely critical that I have the fastest, strongest bond imaginable, then I go with my friends at 3D Gloop. 3D Gloop is very expensive, probably toxic, but there's absolutely nothing available on the market that works better than this blue bottle 3D Gloop. This particular model has very little to clip. If you want a quality clipper, you're going to use Rootool clippers. However, the clippers that come with your printer also work just fine. But if you need better precision, get a real clipper such as Rootool. I'm going to use these to make a fine snip of these little support legs. Those little feet are built into the model to help it stay up when it's printing. This is especially useful because when it's scaled properly, it's very small and there's very low bed contact. We are looking at Sunlu Matte PLA Pink, Sunlu Matte PLA Light Blue, Filament Galaxy Green, and Mica 3D Silk Silver. We will start by sliding this piece into here. We don't need to glue it in because we will glue the cap and that will hold it in place. Because I want things to glue quickly for the purpose of this video, I'm going with SCI 16. I'm not squeezing the bottle, I'm letting it gravity feed. And then I'll place this piece and turn it. With SCI 16, once you get it together, you are done. If you made a mistake, you have likely ruined it. E6000 is a much less destructive glue, one you can peel or wipe away or alcohol clean before it cures. SCI 16 will ruin the PLA. Once it's touched it, it's over. PLA glue, forget it. Once this is on the model, you're done. Get it right the first time. While that sits, let's put together the top side. I question whether or not I even need glue for these 2 sides. Wow, that's a hard no. I'm definitely going to glue on these though. With SCI 16, please make a habit of closing it. Keep something thin handy because it will clog up almost immediately. One jewel. There's the jewels. You'll notice I seldom touch a model without a Scott's cloth because you just never know if you have a piece of glue or paint or something, a dab of something sitting on your fingers you're not aware of. Maybe you ate something and it gets on your model and you've ruined your hard work. So I always keep something clean for handling my work. This will need to be glued onto here, but I think because this stands up, we'll glue the blade on that way. For this, I'm going to use E6000 because it's thick and I want it to kind of spread out as I press the blade in. But I'm not going to overdo it because I don't want it to squirt out of the model. But I want it to kind of squish inside and form around the base of the blade. Beautiful. A little rock. Nothing came out, so it looks clean, and I know that glue is kind of squished all around. I've got the model sandwiched between an Overture 3 kilogram spool and a Polymaker 3 kilogram spool. Thank you, Overture. Thank you, Polymaker. And I want this done rather quickly. I don't want this to have time to move around. Once I put it down, I want it to stay. That's why we're going to go nuts and use PLA glue for this. However, I'd like to point out the SCI Grip 16 would be a fine choice. I'm going to paint inside the walls and the floor, and just a tiny drop on the bottom side here. It is a big part. I want to be sure this stuff mates. I will take the time to close the bottle. It's very important to keep PLA glue fresh, and it's expensive, so we don't want to risk our glue. Now we'll slide this down. Wow, pretty cool. And there it is, the oversized Squid Game dagger. No time has passed. It's only been a matter of moments since I attached the blade to the handle with PLA glue. That is how strong and quick PLA glue works. I'm super excited with how this came out. Whatever printer you have at home, with the right techniques, you can make something like this too. Forget the excuses, forget believing that you can't do it, and tell yourself, makers make. I'm Mr. Greg. This is a giant Squid Game dagger, and you're on 3D Rundown.